In our tradition, the best example of development of our character and personality, teacher, student, mother, father, employee, employer, anybody, we are born in the common category called Prakriti. Prakriti, nature. And that nature has got 6 modifications. That which is born either through an egg or as a baby, whether a giraffe baby or a human baby. Prakriti, born, that which breathes, that which moves its limbs. That is the first stage. The second is the growth stage. The baby grows, the chimpanzee grows, the lion cub grows. Similarly, human baby grows. Yauvanam, youth comes in. Lot of activity, lot of interest, lot of enthusiasm, jumping here, there like football. And afterwards we call middle age, then old age, then the disease, then ticket, death. You have to go. These are the 6 or 7 modifications of everybody. Whether you are in South Africa or whether you are in Hyderabad. Whether you are in a category of fish or whether you are an ant. Whether you are a bird or whether you are a snake. Modifications. These are Prakriti. Nothing so special about you and me or anybody else outside. But by training of the mind, by Shaucha, by Indriya Nigraha, by other activities, by gaining more and more knowledge, not just book knowledge, self-knowledge, I raise my standard of living and thinking from Prakriti to what great masters called Samskriti. That is the highest culture of a land, of a race, of a civilization. Civilization and culture are 2 different things. Science may not develop in a particular area, but those people may be highly cultured. Science, technology, civilization gives you comfort. Whether it's a laptop, whether it's an aeroplane, whether it's a car, whether it's a mic, whether it's a dress, that gives you comfort. That is not culture. So Samskriti has to be developed. That is my talent, that is my growth. Not just a physical growth, not just man, woman, boy, girl. I grow inside out. Samskriti, samskaramu antara. Imbibe new samskaras, whether you are a principal, whether vice principal, whether a mathematics teacher, imbibe the samskara and rise yourself Prakriti to Samskriti. The culture of the land is strengthened. Please keep this in mind. And if you remain only at the Prakriti level, you don't remain there. You are not refining the Prakriti. You remain only in an animal state. And what happens when more and more of animal nature dominates? Vikriti comes down. That is where corruption starts. That is where problem starts. That is where killing starts. That is where crime starts. Vikriti. His look is Vikriti. Vikaranga untadata Telugulo. Look at his eyes. He is not proper. Vikriti. Crude behavior. Crude body language. Crude talk. Vikriti. But as teachers, as educationists, as taking the nation forward through your school or through Delhi schools or any schools in the country and the world, let us rise from Prakriti to Samskriti, because you and I alone have got the opportunity. Opportunity to think differently. Opportunity not just develop the mind, opportunity to develop the buddhi. Higher than the mind is the buddhi. Buddhi is the bulb inside the lighthouse. You know the working of the lighthouse, teachers should know it. There is a 10,000 watts bulb inside the lighthouse on the top. And towards the ocean, towards the sea, there is the lens. Other 3 sides are covered. And when the wheel moves around, revolves around, and the bulb comes to the sea area, that lens takes over. It draws the light and throws it into the sea. The lens is the mind. The bulb is the buddhi. The bulb should be high class, full voltage. Otherwise, what is the use of the lens when there is no bulb? And what is the use of the bulb when there is no lens? It will follow only a limited area. Even just a torchlight also. The lens is important. Similarly, mind and buddhi collaboration is shaucha. So develop that buddhi in yourself and in the mind of the students. That is why the great Maharshi gave Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. It is not just a lullaby. It's an atom bomb. It's a nuclear reactor. Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Let my buddhi blossom. Shaucha. Cleanliness. Absolute cleanliness. 10 days you are out of the house. When you come and see your face, and mirror is full of dust. You are not happy. You wash it, wipe it, and you want your reflection to be crystal clear. Am I right? That is shaucha. You wash it, wipe it, instantly. There's discomfort. Why? What has happened to this? Wash it. Shaucha. Similarly, fire is an example of shaucha. It draws everything and swallows it. So when am I audible? And another greatest example of shaucha is the sun god. Always you cannot see him with the naked eyes. So powerful, so brilliant, so full of tejas. That is the example of shaucha. Yajna Swami was mentioning the example of Swami Vivekananda's 5 words. Sisters and brothers of America shook the whole American continent. It shook the American continent. So that is where the fundamental reality lies. How clean I am in my approach to life, shaucha. Both internal and external. Shaucha in the body, shaucha in the mind. And today, because of the glamour, because of the attractions, because of so many other exposures, the shaucha is taking a back seat. Where there is pollution in the speech, pollution in your thinking, and pollution in your doing. It's all corrupted. We are not blaming anybody. It is the situation that we are experiencing day in and day out. Because whether it's in the house or whether it is what kind of words we speak, carelessly we go on talking all sorts of things without knowing the science of the language, how the word comes out from my own personality deep inside. Just I think I have to say something, immediately there are vibrations in my navel. The voice rises, the pulses rises, the vibrations rises. And then much more willpower is used and they rise up to the throat level. They become words. I can feel it in my throat. And then through the lower tongue it comes out the external tongue, a shabda. And then the shabda merges in that source again, it ends. In 4 stages what I speak is coming. So beautiful, so scientific this is. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari. That is the Omkara, that is the Saptaswara, that is Nada Brahma, that is the music of the world. Para, unseen, it's just a vibrations. Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari, it's a circle. Again, Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari, every word that you utter is following these 3-4 cycles. How important is the power of speech. That's why I tell students and people who are talking all sorts of things at a very high pitch and without any subject, without any rhythm, please go to a deaf and dumb school 9 to 4 and stay with them. You'll understand the problem. How careless we are, how arrogant we are, how proud we are. Just because I know what to speak, I misuse my power of speech? I insult somebody? I pollute somebody? No. Go there. They also want to speak. They also have got para, but the madhyama is cut off. Either by disease or by accident or by birth. Just maunam. That is much better. Maunam samadhi lakshana. That's why somebody says India will not get much gold medals in physical athletics, but it will get in international gossip championship all the gold medals. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, go on talking without any subject. We're talking politics, we're talking cinema, talking this, talking that, wasting the power of speech. Sound pollution. But look at those great masters who have moved mountains, who have moved the people, who have moved the world. Just the power of speech, whether it was Mahatma Gandhi, or whether it was Vivekananda, or whether it was Aurobindo, whether it was Rabindranath Tagore, power of speech. They did not give you a job, they did not give you any food, they gave you ideas. They wrote ideas, they spoke ideas, which came from deep inside their personality, which was so pure. Basically, please understand, the very fact that you are born as a human being is a great gift and a dignity and a value. Whether you are a teacher or whether you are anybody else. The basic fact that you are born as a human being, that gives you a dignity. So Vivekananda says, what a wonderful name they have given the rishis. They have given you a wonderful name. Allow me to call you, brethren, by that sweet name, children of immortal bliss. Amritasya putraha. You are children of immortal bliss. Sinners? It is a sin to call a man a sinner. It is standing libel on human nature. You are pure. You are eternal. You are divine. Shake off the delusion that you are sheep. You are lions, spirits free, immortal. How much purity you have. But today, everywhere that opposite current is flowing. We have forgotten that Amritatvam, forgotten that purity which is our birthright. Freedom of the soul is forgotten. We have imprisoned ourselves in this cage of negativity and cynicism and what you call other weaknesses. Break that. We have got a wonderful opportunity. Be proud that you are like soldiers in the Indian army. You are not fighting with bullets and bombs and physical war, but at the mental level there is a warfare. Attack. You have nothing to lose. You have only to gain. Bombard the society with purity. Darshanam, Shravanam, Patanam, gateways for purity. What you see, Darshanam. How sensitive is the mind? How super is the mind? Darshanam. And what visuals are we exposing ourselves into? And we are so happy with it, thinking we are eating sugar when we are putting sand in our mouth. How unfortunate. There's a great, so-called great film director from Mumbai when he was interviewing or interviewed by a girls' college in Vijayawada. That great, so-called great film director, it seems, said, I am not a Buddha to produce only Buddhist film, good films. I am not a Buddha. And I first become a gentleman. Don't think of Buddha. And he produces all sorts of vulgar films and he is so-called great inverted comma. I wanted to put him in Indian Ocean for 5 days so that the dirt will go from his body, from his mind. How dare he tell girls that I am not a Buddha to produce only so-called sensible films? But I produce gentleman films, need not think about Buddha. Darshanam, bombardment. And Shravanam, listening also. And Patanam, reading. The kind of things that we are exposed to. Nature is there, behind the rose thorn is there. Is it the fault of the rose plant? No, it is nature. But I want the rose. I am careful, I train myself. And another great example of Shaucha, which you easily can remember, is the lotus. Padmapatra mivam bhasa, be like a lotus in life. What's wrong? What's the problem? Lotus born in water, grows in water, dies in water, doesn't allow the water to touch its leaves. That is why the great masters, 1947, took lotus as the national flower of India, not rose or hibiscus or chrysanthemum or jasmine. Rose, lotus. Lotus is a symbol of perfection. Lotus is a symbol of purity. Lotus is a symbol of paripurnata. Every petal is equally measured with the other petal. And all the Hindu gods and goddesses are sitting on the lotus. Lakshmi is sitting on the lotus, Saraswati on the lotus, Brahma on the lotus, everybody on the lotus. And in meditation we say, meditate on the heart of a lotus. Your heart is like a lotus. Hridaya Kamala Madhye Rajitam Nirvikalpam. The Lord is sitting in your heart on a huge 1,000-petal lotus. What a joy! 1,000-petal lotus. What massiveness, what fragrance, and what bigness. What stops you from doing that? Our whims and fancies, our ego, our eyes and minds. Hridaya Kamala Madhye. Kamalam. Hridayam is a kamalam. It's a lotus. That is why Sri Ramakrishna says how pure a teacher should be, how pure a mother should be, how pure a person should be, irrespective of your social status. Your boat should be on the water, water should not be in the boat. That is purity. Be in the world. Don't allow the world to live in you. Purity. And that boat should not be the car garage. Boat should be on the river only. Writing in the wrong place, it's not correct. It should be on the water, 24 hours, maybe little for repairing outside the water, and again back to water. But the water in the boat is the wrong place. It won't be a journey. You will sink. And how pure your personality should be, he says, it should be like a dry matchstick. A dry matchstick. 100 wet matchsticks, waste, no current, no fire. One dry matchstick, light, fire, fire, fire. Suddenly there is load shedding. Remember, we are in the evening and there is darkness everywhere. And I bring 100 candles inside that and put it in 100 places. Will the darkness go? No. But one lighted candle is enough. Around that the darkness has gone. And with that one light up the 100. The darkness has gone much more. There is full of light. Let us do our work. It is Shaucha. Everything is fine. Everything is bright. And where there is Shaucha, there is status. There is brilliance. Personality, pure personality. So maintain, as in the olden times before the bombs and before the AK-47s and nuclear warfare was started, it was all gunpowder in the 16th century, 17th century. What was the commander telling? Keep the gunpowder dry. Early morning they have to put it in the sun. Keep the gunpowder dry. When the war will start, we don't know. Keep it ready. The gunpowder should be dry, should be pure. So day in and day out, think that you are pure. Think that you are immortal. Think that you are great. Never for a day think that only I am an ordinary teacher in DPS or this school or that school. You are an extraordinary personality. Why are you thinking an ordinary teacher or just a teacher? So Shaucha is the gateway to higher values. It is the first gateway, the royal gateway, royal path. And as you walk inside the school, as you walk out of the school, the darkness has gone because you are blazing with purity. You are all basically human beings, and second, majority of you have got the women power, the Shakti inside you. And if you want that power to blossom, to blaze forth, the other aspects also have to be taken care, which has been joined together as the theme, Indriya Nigraha. I'll give you a small picture for your meditation and thinking. Imagine that you are going on a long journey. It's a long journey. And you need a chariot. I'm taking you back to the olden times when the motor vehicles were not there. Chariot. You are the owner of the chariot. You are sitting in the chariot. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. Know that you are the owner of the Ratha. Rathi. You are the owner. You have decided to go on a long journey. Shariram Rathamevatu. The body is the chariot. Imagine this. Please conceptualize this. It's a wonderful painting. Vivekananda was very fond of this painting of the Upanishads. You can use it for your students. Use it in your classes. Atmanam Rathi. Shariram Ratha. And who is the driver? Buddhim tu Sarathi. Your buddhi, your intellect, your discriminative faculty, higher faculty is the Sarathi. And that Sarathi is controlling the mind by holding the reins of the horses. Manah pragrahamevacha. And what are these horses? Indriyani hayanahu. Indriyas are the horses. And we have got 5 pancha gnana indriya through which I am knowing the world. And pancha karmendriyas through which I work in the world. Gnana karma, 24 hours. You are knowing and doing, as long as you die. This is going on non-stop. Mana prakrahanevacha, manas is the reins, paggal. Indriyani hayanahu, horses. Vishayam steshu gocharam, the objects are the path. Eyes to see, ears to listen, tongue to taste, nose to smell, and skin to touch. Indriyani hayanahu, vishaya, the objects. And now imagine this wonderful picture. First, control is how should your ratha be? It should be a fit ratha, energetic ratha, and all the axle and the wheel, everything should be correct because it's on the journey. Health should be good. That is why the great sages, we have got yogasanas, we have got the exercises, we have got the pranayama to make myself physically fit for hard work and long journey. Don't abuse the body, don't misuse the body, don't pamper the body. It is a wonderful tool of nature. Let us use the body to climb Mount Everest. Let us use the body to go into space. Let us use the body to go deep into the ocean. People are doing it because the body is a wonderful dharma. Sharira madhyam kalu dharma sadhanam, Kalidasa said in Kumara Sambhava. Body is the primary means of practicing dharma. I need a body. As a monk, I need to do my own dharma. Vivekananda conquered America through mind and the body. What a wonderful body he had, an athletic body, a heroic body. So Sharira should be fit, control of the body. Body should not control you. The second is the buddhi. The buddhi should be alert, not a drunkard fellow. He should be alert buddhi, a dynamic buddhi, and because the owner has confidence in the buddhi. Arjuna, Krishna became Parthasarathi, Arjuna's driver. And the mind, the leather belt should be correct, should be fit, should be strong. One whip, the horses should move. The mind controlling what you see, what you listen, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. But the most important thing is the horses. Without the horses, what is the use of the ratha? What is the use of your decision? And that horses, the Upanishad says, should be trained horses, not wild horses. If it is wild horses, it will be their journey, not your journey. Directly bring them from the forest and put them in race course. Who will win? The horses will win, not the owner. They will take you, they will shatter you. Ratha is shattered. The buddhi is thrown out and the Atman is killed. So the warning is given, put the trained horses, train them what to see, train them what to listen, train them what to taste, what to touch and what to smell. Training of the mind. Indriya nigraha, self-control. And it is just same operation as that much as you drive a car. In the beginning, very difficult to drive the car. It will go this way, it will go that way, it will go that way. Car is controlling the driver. But after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, after a month, I control little by little, take them with the elbow and slowly drive. And after 6 months, I can participate in a race. I can go at a high speed because I know automatically with my legs I control the accelerator, brake and the clutch. With a hand, I change the gear. With one hand on the steering, eyes on the road. I should not be on the TV or somewhere else. Eyes on the road. You are doing it. Whether it's a bike or a cycle or whether it is a car or whether it's a flight. But in spite of your practice, that one particular day, if you are not alert, if you have lost that concentration, life has gone. You cannot tell, oh, this is only first time I did the mistake. Please excuse me. You will not be there to tell. Who will you tell? Yamadharmaraja? Or you will come back again post-mortem? You will not be there. You will also die. You will kill 10 people also. One of our caterers who was serving So last 11 years was supplying food every time any function is there. He had been going to Kurnool and coming, going to Kurnool and coming so many times. That is his another home, second home. And one fine day, morning 5:36, the owner in the front, driver is there, same driver, same car, same road, and coming from Kurnool in the morning back to Hyderabad, and back another two people are there. Same driver, same car, same road, same time. Only the date was different. Kala was waiting. That 1 second, 5:30, somewhere near Hyderabad, that 1 second, the driver just dozed. And the car, instead of going in the road, went through the fields. And was jumping, and others woke up and aroused the driver with some mind, turned the car towards the left side, and there was a huge tree in the field. And only the owner was dead. Driver heavy injury, backman little injuries, owner was dead, the glass pieces cut his throat. Same road, same car, same driver, and a night journey many times, up and down. One day, that concentration gone, control gone, man has gone. 1 year. Indriya Nigraha. We have seen how many people are falling down from that Indriya Nigrahas. Today there is a procession of VIPs to Tihar jail. Indriya Nigraha. Let them control there. Eating Tihar jail roti kapda. Highly suited, coated and high-fly people. Procession karo, march past karo, let the world see how great you are. Full of mosquitoes, full of this one, enjoy. Because you enjoyed so many days without any control. So this is the tragedy of our life. Tragedy can be thought, tragedy need not be experienced. You cannot put salt in milk and say very sweet. And milk is boiling for making payasam or kheer, and the other side you are cutting some lemon for making some lemon rice, and one drop of lemon juice into the 10 liters, you cannot tell, I'm sorry, please come back. Who is ruining yourself? Where is it Indriya Nigraha? Roman civilization fell because of lack of Indriya Nigraha. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Gibbons, please read. Sensational stories are there. Right from the heights of the Julius Caesars, where the earth trembled with the power of the Julius Caesars, now the spiders weave its cobwebs. Because luxury, entertainment, only money power, only for body sensations, they lost the vitality of a king and vitality of the Caesars. Vivekananda says, look at the palaces where the Caesars ruled and lived. The spider is the winner there. We cannot see what where the Rome is. It's all in ruins. Look at what happened to Atlantis, the might of the science and civilization. Now the Atlantic Ocean holds its sway. It is deep inside. But amongst all the civilizations in the world, only Chinese and the Indus continue to exist because underneath there is Indriya Nigraha. Above there is little disturbance today. Vivekananda says, the national ship of ours, my countrymen, has been ferrying across millions of souls across the other shore beyond misery. But today, through your fault or whosoever fault, it matters not, water is entering into the ship. Should we desert it? Should we go about criticizing it? Should we go about quarreling among ourselves? Should we not all unite together and put our heart and brain and stop the holes? Let us fail in the attempt, but let us not fail with curses. Let us fail with blessings. And if you are telling I am a liar and kick me out of the country, I will come back and tell you that we are all sinking, and let us sing with joy. Because India has done a lot of control in the past. Let us not desert it. Let us not spit on it. Because we are spitting on ourselves. And where is the problem of Indriya Nigraha? We simply call manas, 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 manas without knowing what is the manas. I ask many students, what is the manas? I ask many people, what is the manas? blank answer. Manas means blank? No. Manas is not just a clean slate, not just this one. We have already come with a preloaded cassette. Preloaded what you call CPU. It's an infinite GB. Infinite GB. Not just 500 or 600 or 1 TB. Infinite. 80 million lives matter is stored in there. And now we are adding so many unwanted things. First clean that. Sometimes I fear that it is much disturbing than GHMC dustbin. Much. Hodgepodge is there. Oh, foul smell. Bad smell. We don't know where it is coming from. Turn the torchlight to your face. You have acquired our samskaras. There is a Kumbhakarna inside us. 6 months eating, 6 months sleeping, Tamo Guna. There is a Ravana inside us, Rajas, temptations, don't care attitude, no dharma, and he went on attacking and enjoying. Ravana. And we have Vibhishana also. Dignified, composed, devoted, and full of respect. And this respectful Vibhishana went and advised Ravana, he kicked him out. And who gave him surrender? The Lord. Better to be there than with this fellow. So we are a combination of S plus R plus T. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. 24 hours. Sometimes S is going up, sometimes T is going up. Sometimes darkness, sometimes light. Sometimes bombarding, sometimes restless, ego, anger, overactivity. Tamas is ruining oneself, Rajas is ruining the others. Sattva is act, think and act, think and act, think and act. So S plus R plus T, when it is taken up care of, you are controlling your indriya. Use it. That was the strength of the great yogis. They fought. Kshurasya dhara avishita aduratyaya. Very difficult, it is like walking on a razor's edge. Kshurasya dhara. But it is the way. People have done it. Heroes, they are called heroes. Dhira Purushas. What a wonderful ID quality they have given us. Label they have given us. You know who you are? You are a Dhira Purusha. But the nature of the mind is to go, not to get controlled. But the Dhira says, no, I will do it. I will swim against the current. A couple of days back, the news item was, a 16-year-old boy climbed Mount Everest. What an amount of control he should have had over his body first. Then what amount of passion, what amount of willpower. 16-year-old boy, instead of spending time in Pizza Hut or in some cinema or playing with friends, climbing Mount Everest. Isn't it an act of self-control and dynamism and hero? Before that, a 25-year-old lady from the Arunachal Pradesh forest climbed Mount Everest. What did they do? They swam against the current. They climbed against the velocity, against the avalanches, against the wind. So when they are doing it at the higher level, why cannot I do it in my daily life? A little bit of self-control, learn to say no. Mind can take whatever it likes. No, I am putting a brake. I know to put a brake, where to put the brake, and how much will I brake. I don't put a sudden brake. Sri Ramakrishna tells how we lose that self-control out of that greed or out of that impulse-driven philosophy. He says one lady, elderly lady, she went to meet her friend after 5 or 6 long years. And she came to know that her friend is in the same town. So she found the address and went to that lady. And by the time their lifestyle, their career changed, that schoolmate or college mate had become a weaver, was weaving or knitting sweaters. And in the drawing room, there were so many beautiful woolen balls, silk and costly woolen balls. And they were chatting. Occasionally, this second lady's eyes were falling on that woolen balls. And she doesn't like to ask, but her eyes are going there and talking with that friend. In the meantime, the weaver lady said, I will get a little coffee and little snacks, and went into the kitchen. And the other lady who came after 5 long years, her control was lost. She is having so many woolen clothes. What will happen if I take one? And she took it. By the time that coffee vessel sound came, she took it, put it under the armpit. Because the lady came back. She could not keep it back in the bag. She put it under her armpit, was sitting like this and drinking coffee and eating biscuits with the one hand. And the weaver lady came, she saw something has been disturbed there. It is not as it was. The box has been disturbed. She could see it. But I cannot ask straight away. It looks embarrassing. After 5-6 long years, my friend has come. And she made her own program, her own plan. She said, my dear friend, we are meeting after 5 long years. You went somewhere, I went somewhere, and now we are meeting, very happy. Let us enjoy. Let us enjoy some music. And without questioning, she went and switched on the CD player. Music, bhajans, some songs, some film songs or some songs were coming. And this lady said, why is it quietly like this? Let us dance. Let's enjoy a good dance. And without asking, that weaver lady got up and dancing with both the hands, free dance, enjoying her dance. And this lady could not say no. She also stood up, but dancing with only one hand. With the other hand, holding that woolen silk ball. Imagine the picture. And that lady said, my dear friend, why hesitate? We are meeting, nobody else in the house, let's have a free dance. And she pulled her up. That silken roll fell, and her friendship also fell. She could not show her face, she ran away out of the house. That moment, when the control has gone, whole life friendship has gone, our values have gone, and what a mind we are playing with. Swamiji says, Vivekananda says, in his introduction to the meditation book, Raja Yoga, he says, mind is like a monkey. Accept it. And what is the nature of the monkey? Is it quiet? No, always restless. Chanchalam, chanchalam, chanchalam. And this monkey in the summer season was thirsty and it was searching for water. And it went from tap to tap, house to house, could not get a water because everywhere dried up. And near some place in the water tank, it found a bottle. And in that anxiety, he opened the bottle and drank and drank and drank. Unfortunately, it was not water, it was a bottle of wine. And now double effect. By nature restless, and the intoxication of the wine sitting on the branch, it was slowly dozing and acting and falling down, and it's not able to control the mind. And poor monkey's problem did not end. One scorpion was coming down the branch. It saw its friend there, and from the back gave a nice bite on the back. It started jumping in pain. And since it was shouting so much, it disturbed a demon which was sitting on the tree. And that poor ghost entered into the monkey's mind. Now imagine the 4-in-1 problem of this poor monkey. Vivekananda says, restless, drinking wine, and scorpion bite, and the ghost entering. Such is the human mind, he says. By nature restless, constantly shaking the body, constantly shaking the legs, constantly running here and there, and nobody is there, and take the mobile and go and disturb the mobile, and disturb somebody somewhere in the house. And when they are peace, oh, this fellow has not called, or this Amma has not called, you go and disturb, restlessness starts. Constantly restless. And comes, what is that wine? He says, it is constantly drinking the wine of desire. I want, korikala pitta, bottomless pit. I want. You don't need, but it says I want. Whatever I see, I want. I for myself, okay. But yours also is for myself. That is the nature of the mind. So, everything I, they will take the hindmost. I don't care for anything, I want it at any cost. Corruption starts. And comes the third problem, the scorpion of jealousy and the victory of others. A comparative degree. They have it, I don't have it, jealousy. Whole night, no sleep, you have to take 2 compos. The problem doesn't end there. The fourth problem ends, the demon of pride, ego. Who are you to tell me? I have everything. I don't care for the values. I don't care. That ego of demon will enter and spoil the whole picture. So restlessness, desire, jealousy, ego is what ruining our daily life. How many people fall victim to that? But this man has conquered. The greatest realizations have come from this man itself. Vivekananda says, if the sages in the past were great, the future will be greater. We have that high hope that India will give that. but tremendous self-control, tremendous discipline. And in the word, magic word discipline, there is another fellow hidden there. Who is he? A disciple. Delete INDN, disciple comes out. And that disciple is you. DISCIPLINE. Delete INDN, a disciple comes out. One who is disciplined is a disciple, and one who is a disciple is disciplined. There is no looking back. So similarly, when the mind is telling no to the control, I have to say this will be good for you. This little bit of firmness or control to what I talk, where I talk, and how I talk. Go on talking about politics. Go on talking only about material things. Go on talking only about this man or that man, this person or that man. What is that for you? Why don't you check your own personality and become better than the best? So Shaucha and Indriya Nigraha, if you are teaching science, please don't teach science in your classrooms, create scientists. Enough of this teaching business. We have taught enough. Create now. Create scientists. 44 years, Chicago University, one university in the United States. One of my students who went from Chennai is now doing economics there. She says, Swamiji, according to the history of Chicago University, 44 years, they have produced 29 Nobel Prize winners. One university. Look at the hallmark of the teachers there, or the professors there, and the zeal and enthusiasm of the research scholars. Please create scientists. That is your inspiration. If you are social studies, don't teach history, create history in the classroom. Students study science, physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, etc., etc. But nobody thinks scientifically. Where is this rational thinking? Where is the scientific thinking? Because you have to think. You have to vibrate. Can you feel Srinivasa Ramanujan in your heart? Can you feel a J.C. Bose in your personality? Can you feel C.V. Raman in your personality? What a tremendous control C.V. Raman executed. Do you know the story of Sir C.V. Raman? When he went to Dharwad in North Karnataka, he was asked by the director of All India Radio at that time to give a 10 minutes live lecture in All India Radio for Karnataka. And then 10 minutes only, 5:50 to 5:59.5 seconds. Raman sir agreed, master man. After sitting in the chair in the studio, he asked the director, on what topic should I speak? And the director simply blurted out, sir, can you speak on flowers? Okay, no problem, but give me 1 minute time. And Sir C.V. Raman wears the Mysore turban, Maharaja turban, he removed it, put it on the table, and he had a tuft of hair, the traditional hair, backside, and closed his eyes and hit that hair once. The tuft once, closed his eyes and started. 5:50 exactly. Boom, sound started. Speech went on. 5:58, 2 minutes more, countdown started, the other side. But Sir C.V. Raman is speaking with eyes closed, not seeing the countdown. 5:59, eyes closed. Continuously like water flow, the ideas are coming in torrents on flowers. 5:59, 30 seconds, eyes closed. And the other side, the director is sweating. He says, if he doesn't close before 5 seconds, and I don't switch over to All India Radio New Delhi at 6 o'clock exactly for news, my job will go. He's not opening the eyes. 35 seconds, 40 seconds, 45th second, 50th second. The Nobel Prize winner that he was opened his eyes and said, thank you. And the director came running and did Shashtanga Namaskar. Sir, you saved my life today. And Sir C.V. Raman said, friend, I did not speak on your life. I was speaking on flowers. No, sir, you saved my life, literally. What is the problem? Why are you sweating? Why are you drenched up? Sir, this is what happened. I told you you have to stop before 5 seconds, 10 seconds so that I get time to switch over. Your eyes closed, sir. You are not opening eyes, sir. I was sweating, sir. I was showing the card, sir. What did you tell me earlier? You told me to stop at 5:59 and I did it. So easy to tell her for the Nobel Prize winner, but the director did not leave. He wanted to know the secret of success. Oh, he said, you want to know that? All right. Can you tell me what I did before speaking? You asked me the topic, sir. Okay. Next, what did I do? You removed the turban, sir. Next, what did I do? I don't remember, sir. Alright, there lies the secret, my friend. Sir C.V. Raman said, I hit my antenna and told stop at 5:59.5 seconds. He did it. Master control. Control of thoughts, control of the time, control of himself. Otherwise it is not possible.